Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Tippecanoe County. My name is Janice Teal, and I am a member of the Worship Committee. Whether you are a member, a longtime friend, or a newcomer, I hope this time is full of meaning for you. Quoting from the book called Growing a Beloved Community, "We are happy you are with us. We gladly share with you in everything that strengthens this congregation, and we stand with you against anything that will injure or weaken it. We believe that membership in our beloved community will enrich and enlarge your life as well as ours. We want your gifts. We offer you ours. Know well that in our membership, you are truly accepted to come as you are and to grow who you wish to become."
Good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Tippecanoe County on this blustery November 1st day, the day after Halloween, and I'm sure it was a little bit different kind of Halloween than you normally would have if you've got youngsters or enjoy giving candy out at the door for the youngsters. Everything is kind of topsy-turvy and odd right now. There's only 2 more days till the election, and I know that I am hearing lots of people having some worries around that. And in the midst of all of that, it's so important that we gather, that we take a moment to rest in the crush of the week, that we decide that it's a time for us, a time when we can put aside all the distractions and all the worries of the week and just be here now. So I'm glad you're here. And my name is Reverend Rosemary Morrison, and I am the interim minister of this UU Church in West Lafayette, Indiana. And I will be your minister until July 31st of 2021, at which time you will welcome your new settled minister. I'm so excited for you. And I'm so excited you are here. So come. Be with us in whatever way and as present and as fully as you are able. So come. Let us worship together. And I want to let you know that you are so very welcome here.
We gather in this time of uncertainty, full of unknowns, as angst closes upon us. We light this chalice with a flame that draws us together. With this flame, we cut through the darkness of isolation and are warmed by the fires of our interconnection. For this moment, this radical moment, we find a certainty within the knowable bonds of love and community. Now please join me in the words of our covenant. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
This song is titled "When Our Heart is in a Holy Place," so please join us in singing. Blessed with love and amazing grace, when our heart is in a holy
church family. I know, by now you're probably like, oh, she always wears the penguin costume. What's new? But I think that it's important in these times to take time to have a little fun. Whether it's wearing a penguin costume, wearing a monkey costume, skipping down the street, riding a bike with the wind in your hair, or just going outside to watch the butterflies. Today, I'm going to read the book, The Little Old Lady Who Was Not Afraid of Anything. It's one of my favorite Halloween-ish stories. It's written by Linda Williams, illustrated by Megan Lloyd, and published by Harper. I really hope that you are taking time for fun. I know I am. Hope to see you soon. The Little Old Lady Who Was Not Afraid of Anything by Linda Williams, illustrated by Megan Lloyd, and published by HarperCollins. Once upon a time, there was a little old lady who was not afraid of anything. One windy afternoon, the little old lady left her cottage and went for a walk in the forest to collect herbs and spices, nuts and seeds. She walked so long and so far that it started to get dark. There was only a sliver of moon shining through the night. The little old lady started to walk home. Suddenly, she stopped right in the middle of the path were two big shoes, and the shoes went clomp, clomp. "Get out of my way, you two big shoes. I'm not afraid of you," said the little old lady. On she walked down the path, but behind her she could hear clomp, clomp. A little farther on, the little old lady stumbled into a pair of pants, and the pants went wiggle, wiggle. "Get out of my way, you pair of pants. I'm not afraid of you," said the little old lady, and she walked on, but behind her she could hear two shoes go clomp, clomp, and one pair of pants go wiggle, wiggle. Farther still, the little old lady bumped into a shirt, and the shirt went shake, shake. "Get out of my way, you silly shirt. I'm not afraid of you," said the little old lady, and on she walked a little bit faster, but behind her she could hear two shoes go clomp, clomp, one pair of pants go wiggle, wiggle, and one shirt go shake, shake. A little ways on, the little old woman came upon two white gloves and a tall black hat. The gloves went clap, clap, and the hat went nod, nod. "Get out of my way, you two white gloves and you tall black hat. I'm not afraid of you," she said, and on she walked, just a little faster. But behind her she could hear two shoes go clomp, clomp, one pair of pants go wiggle, wiggle, one shirt go shake, shake, two gloves go clap, clap, and one hat go nod, nod. Now the little old lady was walking at quite a fast pace. She was very near her cottage when she was startled by a very large, very orange, very scary pumpkin head, and the head went boo, boo. This time the little old lady did not stop to talk. She did not stop at all. She ran. But behind her she could hear two shoes go clomp, clomp. One pair of pants go wiggle, wiggle. One shirt go shake, shake. Two gloves go clap, clap. One hat go nod, nod. And one scary pumpkin head go boo, boo. The little old lady did not look back. She ran as fast as she could and didn't stop to catch her breath until she was safe inside her cottage with the door locked. She sat in her chair by the fire and she rocked and she rocked. It was so quiet in her cottage before the knock, knock on the door. Should she answer it? Well, she was not afraid of anything. So she went to the door and opened it. What do you think she saw? Two shoes go clomp, clomp. One pair of pants go wiggle, wiggle. One shirt go shake, shake. Two gloves go clap, clap. One hat go nod, nod. And one scary pumpkin head go boo, boo. I'm not afraid of you, said the little old lady bravely. What do you want anyway? We've come to scare you. You can't scare me, said the little old lady. Then what's to become of us? The pumpkin head suddenly looked very unhappy. I have an idea, said the little old lady. She whispered into the pumpkin's ear. The pumpkin head nodded and its face seemed to brighten. The little old lady said good night, closed the door, and whistled on her way to bed. The next morning, she woke up early. She went to her window and looked out into her garden. And what do you think she saw? Two shoes go clomp, clomp. One pair of pants go wiggle, wiggle. One shirt go shake, shake. Two gloves go clap, clap. One hat go nod, nod. One scary pumpkin head go boo, boo. And scare all the crows away.
This is the keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going on song. This is the keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going on song. This is the keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going on song. I am Abigail, and this is Sean, and we're so glad that you've turned this on and welcomed us into your home, and you are welcome into our home. We're in Dayton, Ohio. We're in Sean's parents' house.
My parents' house.
Sean's parents' house. We were in Louisville when the shit hit, and we packed our 3-year-old into a car. We drove kind of far. We drove here, and we've been so lucky and blessed to be safely here. And we thought we'd be here for like 10 days, tops.
What did we know?
What did we know?
What
What did we know? We thought we knew a lot. We thought we knew a lot. Woo! Keep going on song. This is a keep going, keep going, keep going on. Keep going on song. This is a keep going, keep going, keep going on. Keep going on song. And we've been mostly healthy. We've been okay. Are you okay? Are you alright? Are you okay? Are you alright? Are you okay? I hope your body is whole tonight. And if your heart is breaking, I hope it's breaking open. And if your breath is shaking, I hope it's shaking through. And I hope that you've watched a lot of really great television, like a lot of it. And I hope that you find a hand lotion that actually makes your skin feel better. And I hope that you have enough to eat. I hope you're getting enough sleep, and I hope you have enough good company or enough good memory to last you a long time. Keep going, keep going, keep going on. Keep going on song. We sing the keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going on. Keep going on song. Let's bring some joy into the room, why not? We can try it, or some rage,
Keep going, keep going.
and some grief and relief. Ooh, I hold my rage, I pray my rage is a fire that cleans my mind out and makes me ready to listen. I pray my pain is a river that flows to the ocean that connects my pain to yours. And I pray my happiness is like pollen that flies to you and pollinates your joy. Oh boy, is that possible? I don't know. We are making this up as we go. We have to make it up as we go. The keep going song, the keep going song. Oh, we're making it up. We're making it up as we go. Keep going, keep going, keep going on. Keep going on song. And I pray that when we meet again, that the world has changed into the world that we are imagining now together. And I pray that the world has become the world that we're planting inside of ourselves for each other and for our ancestors and for our kids. Ooh, and we're gonna start. This is a rough beginning. That's all I've got is a rough beginning to offer you. We're gonna start by singing some songs in this tiny space together. We're just gonna sing some songs for you, and we hope that when you hear them, you will feel a little bit less alone, and we will feel a little bit less alone in the work and in the hurt, and we will be together tonight somehow, whenever this is, wherever this is. We will be together tonight for the keep going, keep going, keep going on. Keep going on song. This is a keep going, keep going, keep going on. Keep going on song. This is a keep going, keep going on. Keep going on song. This is a keep going, keep going, keep going on.
One thing that we miss with online services is the passing of the collection plate. During this service, you can donate to the church via the Square website, uuctc.square.site. The link is posted in the chat box, and you can click on it any time to give a donation. The total amount given on each Sunday will be divided between the church and our Change for Change recipient. For November and December, this is Family Promise, an organization that provides shelter, food, transportation, and case management to families experiencing housing crises. After services, pledge donations can be made on our homepage. Just click on the Give tab on the upper right corner of the page. Donations can be designated to go either toward your annual pledge, the general offering, or specifically to Change for Change. And of course, you can mail us your check.
song is titled Love Will Guide Us. Please join us in singing.
Please join with me in a time of meditation and celebrating our joys and concerns. Let's take a moment to center ourselves and to focus and find the ground of our being. So I invite you just to take a couple of long cleansing breaths, if you're able and if you desire to do that. So join with me in a couple of long cleansing breaths. And out, and in, and out. And continue to do that as you ground yourself by feeling your feet on the floor and the chair under you, supporting you, giving you comfort, giving you stability. And look around the room. Is it filled with the things you love? Is it filled with people you love? Or are you alone in your room? But you're with us this morning, and so therefore you are not alone. You are part of this community. And for that we are blessed. And we are honored that we can be together. I invite you to breathe in all that sustains you and breathe out those things you need to let go of or wish to let go of. Things that are in our awareness and things yet to be made known to us. And as we continue being aware of the sensations in our bodies and the thoughts in our minds, let's remember how it is on Sunday mornings, the first Sunday of each month, when we light candles of joy and concern, when we show up in our true selves, in our authenticity sometimes and sometimes not. And sometimes we are weeping and sometimes we are laughing. But always in those moments we are in community. And in the sharing of these things, we are community. I would like to invite you to put your joys and concerns into the chat, and I will slowly light some candles on our beautiful candelabra, and I will light some of our joys and concerns. I will light some candles as you type in your joys, your concerns, your cares, a place to lay your burdens down, and a place to join in fellowship with the things that you love. So I invite you to do that now as I light candles on your behalf. And as you see some of these joys and concerns being typed up, please feel free to offer your congratulations, to offer your condolences, to offer your prayers, to offer your love, for it is in these responses that we are truly community. When we say, "Me too," or "I hear you," or "Wow, that sounds amazing," or "I'm sorry, that sounds really difficult. How can I help?" This is what makes us community. Now let's just take a moment to reflect on all that we have heard and all that we have said, and be grateful that we have these companions along the way. Blessed be, and amen. The reading this morning is from the Tao Te Ching, and this translation is by Stephen Mitchell. The Way, the Tao, or the Way as it is sometimes called, was written by Lao Tse. They think that he lived from 551 to 479 before Common Era. Leaders, and everyone else for that matter, have tried to grapple with the concept of doing, not doing, and being, not being. This is not a passive concept, but rather an active one. I'm reading the first few chapters. They're just a couple of sentences each. When people see some things as beautiful, other things become ugly. When people see some things as good, other things become bad. Being and non-being create each other. Difficult and easy support each other. Long and short define each other. High and low depend on each other. Before and after follow each other. Therefore, the master acts without doing anything and teaches without saying anything. Things arise and they let them come. Things disappear and they let them go. She has but doesn't possess, acts but doesn't expect. When her work is done, she forgets it. That is why it lasts forever. The master leads by emptying people's minds and filling their cores, by weakening their ambition and toughening their resolve. They help people lose everything they know, everything they desire, and creates confusion in those who think that they know. Practice non-doing, and everything will fall into place. The Tao is like a well, used but never used up. It is like the eternal void, filled with infinite possibilities. It is hidden, but also present. I don't know who gave birth to it. It is older than God. The Tao doesn't take sides. It gives birth to both good and evil. The Master doesn't take sides. He welcomes both saints and sinners. The Tao is like a bellows. It is empty yet infinitely capable. The more you use it, the more it produces. The more you talk of it, the more you talk of it, the less you understand. Hold on to the center. The Tao is called the Great Mother, empty yet inexhaustible. It gives birth to infinite worlds. It is always present within you. You can use it any way you want. The Tao is infinite, eternal. Why is it eternal? It was never born. Thus, it can never die. Why is it infinite? It has no desires for itself. Thus, it is present for all beings. The Master stays behind. That is why they are ahead. They are detached from all things. That is why they are one with them. Because they have let go of themselves. They are perfectly fulfilled. End of quote. I wanted to give you a sense of the dichotomy of ideas and thoughts in the Tao. I especially think that these chapters can be thought about as we reflect on the workings and the life of UUCTC. The interim period in the life of a congregation is probably one of the most important parts of congregational life. It is here where the congregation takes a breath and tries once again to figure itself out. It's a time of reflection, of sorting things out, of housekeeping, especially getting at those things swept under the carpet, those spots that really, spots or lumps, I should say, that really hinder the well-being of a congregation. During our time together, we have worked to ready UUCTC in calling its next minister. There has been a lot of work done, and there is still work to do. There are basically 5 goals of interim ministry. And this morning, I would like to talk to you about the first goal. And it is claiming and honoring the past and healing the griefs and conflicts. When I first arrived in Lafayette, Indiana, I listened to a lot of people tell a lot of stories, many of them full of pain and confusion. There was embarrassment, sorrow, relief, joy, and pretty much every emotion in between and around that you can possibly name. The church was divided. People interpreted the events that led up to Reverend Charlie's resignation very differently. Such dichotomy. So much doing and not doing. So we went to work. I set up times to meet folks so folks could hear one another talk, to hear each other's stories. Lauren Mead from the Alban Institute writes in Critical Moment of Ministry, A Change of Pastors, every congregation lives in dialogue with its past. Every congregation is strengthened immeasurably by its history, but every congregation has also been deeply wounded by its past. It is both the heir and the victim of its story. End of quote. There have been many things to celebrate in the life of this congregation. A long, successful ministry with Reverend Libby Stoddard, being a beacon in the community. Really, too many celebrations to name. So much to be proud of here. The congregation also has a lot of pain and confusion in its history. Your past two ministries have ended in difficult circumstances. Unkind things were said to one another. Battle lines were drawn. Some of those battle lines are still present today. This congregation, UUCTC, is not finished with claiming and honoring its past and healing its griefs and conflicts, especially the last two parts, the healing its griefs and conflicts. The main point of me being here is to help you do that. This first task is perhaps the most important of all of the 5 tasks, and I will be speaking about all 5. I'm going to speak about on the first Sunday of each month on the 5 tasks of interim ministry. So, if you are still angry about what someone said or about what someone did, come and talk to me. If you are angry or sad about the direction the leadership took the congregation, come and talk to me. If you are pleased with how things are going, come and talk to me. When I first got here, I set up times for folks to be able to talk together and tell their stories. It is in the telling of stories that we can see things from another perspective. People who don't see eye to eye need to hear the other point of view. You don't have to agree, but you do need to try to understand. What I didn't realize at the time was how deeply people were wounded, how strong the walls were that surrounded the different, what I named camps. I set up meeting after meeting. I made it clear that safety would be set up, that boundaries would be honored. Sadly, very few people showed up. It was often just me and 5 empty chairs. The ones that needed to show up weren't the few that actually did. So I brought some of the healing work into the Sunday morning services. Some people liked that. Some people were very unhappy about it. But the work had to be done. And you, the congregants, are the ones that have to do the work, not me. And my friends, there is still work to do. Though lessened and softened, there is still a feeling of camps present in the congregation. Some folks are holding back because they are still unhappy about the way Reverend Charlie's ministry ended here. There is still blame being laid, and there are people that are still pining for Reverend Charlie. Currently, I have set up times for people to come and talk to me. The information for these times is in the Meridian and the Lighted Chalice. I'm going to be very blunt here. It is not fair to your incoming minister to be dealing with the grief and anger that is still bubbling here under the surface, that is still lingering from your past ministries. In the spirit of doing, not doing, and being, not being, I simply offer myself to you to work these feelings out. I am the safe person to talk to because I will not be taking it personally. I will not be speaking to anyone about what you said. and I will not speak unkindly to you or try to change your mind. I am a safe person for you to talk to. It is not fair to this congregation, and especially not fair to your ministry, to take any of the past conflicts and difficulties into your next ministry, into your next settled ministry. If you are still missing Reverend Charlie, or Reverend Hillary, or Reverend Libby, now is the time to talk about it. Your new minister will never live up to your memories and to your feelings if you do not sort these feelings out now. The new ministry will be doomed from the start. Likewise, if you are still angry about the way things were handled, or by the way Reverend Charlie or Reverend Hillary were treated, those feelings need to be worked out now, because it is simply unfair to bring them with you into the next settled ministry. You will only have until next summer to work these things out. You have a very short time to empty yourself of any unpleasantness, to release and let these things go. As we heard, it is only the empty bellows that can ignite a fire. Only when empty does it have infinite capacity. A bellows full of confusion, disappointment, and bitterness will not be able to do anything. It becomes unable to do its function. There are many that are listening today that are thinking, what in the world is she talking about? And I realize that may be the case. However, I say to everyone, it is your responsibility to be when you are part of a caring and healthy congregation, to understand what's going on. You don't need to know all the ins and outs of any conflicts or hurts. But what you do need to understand is that those things are unavoidable unless the congregation is healthy. We've talked some about what the hallmarks of a healthy congregation are. They are clear communication, speaking respectfully to one another, being angry with someone and still being respectful, transparent leadership, good boundaries, talking with people and not about people, so that's called avoiding triangulation, and going to the source of your frustration and dealing with it head on. All those things that make up any healthy relationship can be applied to the life of the church. In fact, it is sometimes through being part of a church that people learn how to be in healthy relationships with one another and establish good boundaries, not just with the people, other congregants, and in committees and things, but in their personal life as well. So the spiritual and personal growth of being part of a church community is intertwined. So I'm going to make things even a little clearer. Mistakes were made during Reverend Charlie's ministry here. Reverend Charlie made some of those because no one is perfect. And the lay leadership of the congregation made some too. People spoke very hurtfully to one another and were very disrespectful. There are many here that bore the brunt of those words and are still hurt. I cannot take your pain away, but I can help you understand the systems that were in place that allowed for these things to happen. As I said, we are allowed to disagree with one another, and in that disagreement, we are called to be respectful and kind. That is part of the work of the congregation, to learn to disagree and not be disagreeable. You know, I can still feel the pain that lingers within the walls of the church and in the Zoom rooms. That pain is real, and it is understandable. And I don't have a magic wand to make it go away. But I know that talking openly and honestly about what is going on for you is the only way to keep it from permeating into your next settled ministry. Please do not let that happen. People in the congregation talk about growth. We need more people. We need the church to grow. Growth will not happen here until the healing and grieving work is done, or at least the majority of it, or at least, like, it's never all over ever, of course, but there's still too much left. So that work is a prerequisite to growth. Things that need to be in place for a church to grow is having it claim and honor its past and heal its griefs and conflicts. That, along with some great programming, a commitment to healthy relations, a sense of community. And of course, there needs to be some outreach so people know you're here. And I'll let you in on a secret, that's done by its members, not by the minister. The minister is there to support, to go with, but never front and center. The people are front and center. You will be giving, I'm right in the sun, I'm going to move a little bit back. You will be giving your new minister a gift of unmeasurable worth if you commit yourself to healthy relationships, if you decide to establish good boundaries, and if you resolve any lingering feelings of pain or grief. And that's what I'm here for. Talk to me. Holding on to them is simply not fair to your new minister. And as I said before, will doom the ministry before it's even out of the gate. Going into search is lengthy and costly. The Beyond Categorical Thinking workshop that happened last week was costly. You want to do everything in your power to go into this new ministry as healthy as you can possibly be. I'm going to say one more kind of maybe even more controversial thing. A big part of of the reason there are lingering feelings is because people thought they were friends with the minister. Regarding that, so they cannot be unbiased. Regarding the relationship between the minister and congregants, the rule of ministers with their congregants is friendly, not friends. If you or think you are the minister's friend, as I said, you are unable to be biased when there's a conflict. Also, when the minister leaves, those relationships need to end. And if they don't end, it's a problem. The new minister will never become your minister if you are still in any kind of relationship with the former minister. Again, the new ministry will be doomed before it begins. Not with everyone, but with you. This is why there is an interim period for people to have the chance to let go gradually. If you are still in a relationship with friends, with a former minister or a member of their family, we need to have a conversation. It's not my place to tell you what to do, only to hold up the mirror and help you reflect. And I will reflect back to you what I see. And perhaps I'll help you get some new understanding. Or at least I'll give you my opinions. Not my opinions, but my thoughts of what I see. I will end with a quote from In the Interim, which is edited by Keith Cron and Barbara Child, and this chapter is written by David Keyes. And he says, While the tasks of interim ministry are not necessarily undertaken in any particular order, coming to terms with history and past ministries does really seem to come first. All congregations in transition suffer some sense of loss, some grief. They must be given an opportunity to process that grief, even if it seems minor. And it's not minor here, folks. The best description I know for the good work that the interim ministers can do come, of course, from the sage Loren Mead. That's him speaking. I don't know Loren Mead. He is largely responsible for transforming so many lives by transforming our understanding of the great strides that can be made in the interim. In the Once and Future Church, Mead writes, coming to terms with the past means the congregation comes to a place where it is able to look at its past, lay to rest its ghosts, value its heroes and heroines, honor its special story, forgive itself for its faults, and gain energy for a new stage of its journey. I wish all of these things and more for you, my dear friends. Friendly, not friends. We use that term, quite often, but what it means is I, your minister, and you, the congregants, and sometimes I say, my friends, but we are not friends, and when I leave, we will end the relationship. So, blessed be, and amen.
Well, it's a crazy world we live in, bad news all around. Brothers and sisters, if we're going to make a difference, we're gonna have to stand our ground and be a drop in the bucket and a bucket in the pond. And the pond fills the river and the river rushes on. Every river swells the river till the power can't be stopped. What becomes a mighty ocean started as a drop. Now down in Alabama, a lady boarded a bus. Driver said, "You black, you gotta sit in the back." Rosa said, "I've had enough." She was a drop in the bucket and a bucket in the pond. And the pond fills the river, and the river rushes on. Every river swells a river, till the power can't be stopped. And what becomes a mighty ocean started as a drop. Great Britain ruled over India, made them slaves to the goods they bought. Till Gandhi took his people to the ocean. He said, "Look, free salt." He was a drop in the bucket and a bucket in the pond. And the pond filled the river and the river rushes on. Every river swells a river till the power can't be stopped. And what becomes a mighty ocean started as a drop. Let's be a drop in the bucket and a bucket in the pond. And the pond fills the river and the river rushes on. Every river swells a river till the power can't be stopped. And what's become a mighty ocean started as a drop.
It is our work, shared with each other in covenant, that creates and sustains this beloved community. We extinguish this chalice, but its light lives on in the directions we have chosen today. The light of this faith lives on in us together, in our hearts, minds, bodies, and spirits. Amen, and blessed be. And our final announcements. Religious Exploration Zoom meeting. It meets from 9 a.m. to 9:45. The youth portion of this meets from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock p.m. Stay online for our welcome and coffee time hosted by Christina Wright. Join us for fellowship, conversation, and to give a special welcome to visitors and newcomers.
And now I would like to offer a time of thanksgiving, a thanksgiving for all that everyone has done to participate in this service, thanksgiving for all the work that is happening behind the scenes, thanksgiving for the toil of all the different task forces, all the committees, the board, people learning and trying and figuring out all the ways that make this congregation work together. So thank you. I am so impressed with all that you do. And now I offer you words of benediction by J.R. Nost. Do not be dismayed by the brokenness of the world. Everything breaks and everything can be mended, but not with time, as they say, but with intention. So I beg of you, go and be intentional and love extravagantly and love intentionally and love unconditionally. For the broken world waits in darkness, for the light that is within you, please let it shine out into the world. Go in peace, gentle people, go in peace. Amen.